So anyways, here's Wonderwall. That's a joke, I'm not gonna sing. So, my name is Spencer. Last week I did comedy for the first time. I'm back, baby. And I, hopefully, unless I keel over from a heart attack right here, will be telling you a story of romance and mystery and frank disappointment. So, back a while, when I was just a little crouton in a big crouton world, I was approximately, how old are you when you're in junior high? Like 16? 12? Not junior high. Junior in high school, I apologize. 16? So when I was a 16-year-old crouton, I was in this Constitution class, which is very important because you better be American, young man. And so I would, being myself, give a lot of snarky comments, but I knew the line, right? And so the teacher loved me, the students loved me, and unbeknownst to me, there was a certain someone behind me who apparently did love me. So I didn't know her very well. Like, I'd turn around and be like, hey, yeah, that's like the Constitution. She'd be like, haha. And I'd be like, nice. I knew her sister better than I knew her. And for purposes of witness protection program, I'll go ahead and call her her sister's name, Rihanna, unrelated to the singer, I think. And so I knew her sister better than I knew her. And one day, as prom was getting closer, she asked me to stay after class to talk real quick. And I was like, yeah, sure, what up? I was like expecting her to ask me like what the square root of George Washington is, right? And so she pulls out of her bag, I think it was a black bag, that's important, it's not. She pulls out of her bag a big bottle of bubbles, and on it was a handwritten note that said, it would blow me away if you went to prom with me. Right? That was like, so I looked at it, right, and I was like, apparently I forgot to read, because I was looking at it maybe a few seconds too much, and I was like, right, poison for Cusco, Cusco's poison, that poison. And I looked up at her and she was like really nervous, and I was like, I mean, definitely, because I had no idea what else to say. I didn't really know her that well. I didn't really want to say no, and she seemed fine, she seemed nice, probably not a sociopath, serial killer. And so I was like, yeah, sure, absolutely. And we exchanged numbers after that. We started talking back and forth over text. She was very introverted, and so typically text, she would like actually show her like what she was like. She was a really cool lady. And as prom got closer, you have to pay the exorbitant like arm and leg of, I think it was, I don't know, $40 for tickets, $40 for your soul, and both of those things together make like 100 somehow. And so we went to pictures beforehand. Again, I knew her sister better, they were twin sisters, and so I was kind of hanging around her sister a little bit more, probably a little bit bad, but she had a date there, so it was fine. And so the date went fine. I didn't know how to smile. I look back at those pictures, all those smiles were just, and to me, I was thinking, you know, he's like a proud father type figure. But instead, I look like I'm inducting you into the Russian mafia, which really, I guess, worked out well for her because she didn't really know how to smile either. It was kind of cute. The end of the night happens after we dance the night away. I was approximately doing the Rick Astley of, and I guess I never gave her up. When it got to the end of the night, she drove me home. It was very nice of her. I did not have a driver's license at the time. And so she drove me home. We were going up the hill, and she was talking to me I wasn't planning on talking about this, but it makes it so much funnier. Okay. So we were going up the hill to my home on a hill, and I was asking her, you know, it's like, what are you planning on doing when you grow up? And she's like, I'd like to be a mortician. And I was like, you mean like with dead people, like mortician, like dead people? And she's like, yeah, for like criminal justice. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, cutting open criminals isn't so bad. Unless you are a criminal. I guess that's just called gang violence. And I was a little bit nervous about pursuing a relationship with someone who'd rather spend time with dead bodies. And as we were going up the hill, this was like 2 minutes before we stopped driving. So we got up in front of the house. Perfect. 1 second. There needs to have props here for comedic effect. Chair, center console. Okay. As I was sitting in proper chair stance, I don't want this to reverb, she just told me that she wanted to be a mortician. And at this point, I've never kissed a woman before in my life. Or a man, I should probably make that before, right? Thank you. Kissing's weird, okay? That's a story for a different time, we can talk about that. Call me. And so I was nervous, right? My hands already get cold. Maybe that was like a mortician thing for her. She was like, cold hands, dead body. And I was like, knees weak, arms heavy, mom spaghetti. And she drove up, stopped, and it was like that pause, kind of like a pregnant pause. And I didn't know what to do. I think she knew what she wanted. But me, being the virgin lips that I was, I was just like, well, thank you so much, Rihanna. Like, that was a really good night tonight. She's like, yeah, for sure. For sure. No doubt. And so I leaned over the console and I gave her a big hug. And she didn't move at all, for like a solid 2 seconds. I think I was so nervous that I was like, aren't you gonna help me back? I'm sure when I look back at the Celestial replay, it's gonna be like, my man. I hope that when I've repented of that, I don't have to watch it again. And I was like, yeah, well, I'll see you, pal, friend, girl, who's also a friend, in a girl kind of friend way. I'll see you tomorrow. And so I left, faced the door, and I only saw her in class after that, and I felt so bad. I felt so bad because it was like, I want to be friends, right? It was a little awkward. And so she never really talked to me again after that. She was kind of a quiet backseat driver in class. And I haven't talked to her since, but I assume somewhere there's a girl who's excited to hold cold hands again. Thank you.